Okay, we are continuing our salute to the class of 2020. This time it's Hamilton-Wenham High School sports, spring sports, and you can see all these guys on the screen. And I'm going to take attendance like I usually do with my math class. I'm going to start with, to see who's here. Starting with baseball, Will Jones?
Yep.
There you are. All right, I see the names there, but let me know that you're here. Okay, softball.
Oh,
Emma
yeah.
Lanciani.
Hi.
There's Emma. Good morning. Boys tennis, Nick Greco.
Here.
Good morning. Girls tennis, Eileen Campbell.
Hi.
There you are, down at the bottom there. Okay, boys lacrosse, Alden Glowski.
Here.
There you go. And girls lacrosse, Olivia Pat.
Hi.
You related to Sarah Pat,
I am.
the author?
Yeah.
Well, you tell her that Rick Moore was talking with you today.
Okay.
I interviewed her a couple years ago when she first published. Okay, track and field, Scott James. Where's Scott? Oh, there he is up at the top. Okay, I talked to him earlier. And girls track and field, Gemma.
Hi.
All right, good morning, one and all. And of course, the Director of Athletics at Hamilton-Wenham High School, Craig Genualdo. Craig, good morning, welcome, how are you?
Good morning, how are you?
Doing okay, but as we were talking in our pregame warm-up here, missing the kids big time, missing live sports. And maybe you can tell me a little bit about these handsome and good-looking individuals here.
Well, you're being kind there, but no. No, the thing with all of these young ladies and young men is that, you know, they represent, first of all, they represent a lot of seniors on their team. And I worked with the coaches, and they chose these individuals to be on. And, you know, the reason for that is just because they all glow. They all brighten up a room as soon as they walk in. They're incredible young men and women, not just on the court or the field or whatever, but, you know, the hardest part about this is I miss all of them in school, and I know they miss each other, and I know I can speak for their coaches that we're heartbroken that we don't get to see them. So it's awesome to see you. I want to reach out and high five every one of you right now. It's you know, whether it's being at the track and, you know, seeing Gemma lap people, or seeing Emma hit bombs and or Will striking people out, or, you know, someone like you know, Nick smashing a serve in someone's face, or Olivia scoring a goal, or, you know, Eileen returning something, or, you know, Alden jumping on his teammates because he's the best teammate around. All these young men and women brighten up any room and any environment they walk into. And so that's why they're here. They're all incredible people, and they're all representative of the teams that, you know, they play on.
I'm glad you pointed out, because every time we talk to these kids, it makes me understand and believe that they're going to save us from ourselves. This is the future. Right? I think it's outstanding. All right, we're going to start with, I'm just going to go by this roster here, if you don't mind. And of course, guys, I'm going to ask you a general question about what it means to be a captain at Hamilton-Wenham High School, because again, when you're a freshman, you're looking down the tubes. Some of you might even have had some doubts. Am I going to make the varsity? I doubt that, but you could have. And I don't know that seniors welcomed you with open arms, but I know that as a captain, well, let me ask you about it. We'll start with Will. What's it mean to be a captain?
To be a captain mainly means just being a leader on and off the field. I mean, you want to show the younger players and your other teammates how you should be acting. And you really just want to be a good role model for them.
Do you help kids sometimes, maybe the younger kids, in your endeavors as an athlete, how to balance studies and athletics? Because as you said, it's important on and off the field.
Yes, I mean, often the younger kids, for example, like the freshmen or the sophomores, will come to you with questions. And I think it's very important for
I think I lost
a captain, for them to be there for them and kind of to show them the best way to do things. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, softball, Emma. Same question to you. What's it mean to be captain?
Yeah, I agree with Will. I also think kind of leaving something for them to have when you're gone. So it's showing them how to go through all of it and being there for them, and trying to get them involved as much as possible, especially the younger kids. Cause I know coming in my freshman year, I was super nervous and kind of shy to towards the older kids. But I think it's really important to get them involved younger, because it's kind of brings that team spirit more. So I think that's really important. And then again, like I said earlier, leaving something behind for them so that they're not left alone. They know they have us to always look towards.
Awesome. That's teamwork. Let's go to boys tennis. Nick.
For me, it's just like, as a captain, I have the ability to show energy to the younger kids and to, get them really incorporated into the sport. And that's one of my favorite things to do. And, if a kid picks up a tennis racket and starts to love the sport, it just warms my heart.
All right. Glad to hear that. Girls tennis, Ellen. I'm sorry, Eileen. Excuse me. I'm sorry, Eileen.
It's fine. I agree with Willick saying that being a captain is like being a leader, and for it kind of helps with, well, like for me as a captain, I feel that I should be welcoming everyone, and like underclassmen, upperclassmen, everyone, and ultimately just creating like a team environment where everyone feels welcome on and off the court.
Okay, thank you very much. And Alden, you as captain of boys lacrosse.
Yeah, so I really just tried to lead by example and like set a standard for the team, whether it's like in the off season in the weight room or in season, like setting a set of team guidelines and everything, just to have everyone on the same like foot. And I don't know, it really helped like unite us this off season. It's too bad it couldn't carry over to the spring.
Yeah, I know. I think a lot of us feel your pain, although it's just awful. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's go to Olivia, girls lacrosse.
I think being a good leader is being able to communicate with your teammates, even if maybe like everyone is very different. And I think it's also adding to what Eileen said, like being really friendly and welcoming, because there's more to a team than just winning and losing. You want to create a strong team bond on and off the field.
Oh man, these answers are unbelievable. That's awesome. We're going to go to Scott. We've lost the video on Scott, but I believe we do have the audio. Scott, as captain of boys track and field.
Yes, we have the audio. Sorry, my camera decided I wanted to just update in the middle of this.
Yeah, I love
but
that.
for me being captain is all about just getting the team involved and everything, and just sort of like working together as a cohesive unit and like just leading them in the right direction and maybe offering them guidance and sort of like from what you've learned over the years to help them on their journey throughout their athletic career in the season and hopefully beyond.
I'm hearing a real common theme here. Gemma, girls track and field.
Yeah, for me, I think being a captain, it's really important to be approachable and like be a friend to the people, because they're going to enjoy playing a sport more if they're comfortable being there, and you're kind of that link to like from the coaches to the players.
Greg, I got to ask you about the comments on this, because as an athlete, we're so competitive. And one thing, when you're trying out for something, sometimes it goes against your grain to want to help someone else, because that person might eventually take your job. But that's not what these guys are saying.
No, and I think that's why they're on this call today. I think that's why they're captains. I think, each and every one of them in their own way, in their own unique way, are incredibly competitive, and they do a lot to win. And even in a sport like tennis or track and field, which some would consider an individual sport, it's a team game. If the shot put group doesn't do well, then it doesn't matter how good the sprint group does, that you won't win the meet. Same thing with tennis. You can have an individual match, but it's a team score. Baseball and softball, you can be up at the plate and, all those individual things. But if you're not functioning within a team concept and a team philosophy, you got no shot to win. All these guys and girls are incredibly competitive. But the reason why they're here is they're great teammates. And that's what I think, we do well at our school, whether it's the coaches or the kids doing it. Being a teammate is more important than anything else you'll ever do in your life. It's what's going to carry you the furthest. Being resilient and being able to be accountable to one another and show up every day when you don't feel like it. These guys and girls are all amazing examples of that. That's why they're here.
All right, we're going to go in reverse order this time from the one I just did. And one thing about this thing now is no matter what happens in the future, nobody can take away your captaincies. You guys are captains, and despite how things are up in the air right now, you're going to be part of this forever, and your teammates are going to know that. And with that in mind, obviously you don't have any highlights for this year, but I'd like to ask you about either a personal highlight or team highlight, maybe last year versus an arch rival, or anything that might come to mind that you want to mention, because what we're trying to do is to salute you guys for your accomplishments. So don't be afraid to brag a little bit. We'll start with Gemma, track and field.
Hi. I think one of my personal accomplishments would be sophomore year. I qualified for all states. I was able to go, but I think personally that was just like a big deal for me because I had never had the opportunity to go before.
What's your best event?
My best personal event is the 400, and I PR'd sophomore year, so that was big too.
Excellent, excellent. And all right, and I gotta we'll come back to that in a second here. Scott, your personal memory?
I hate bragging, but I'd have to say probably my favorite moment is when the first 2 mile I ran and won. It was definitely it was an exhausting experience, but it was a very, very fun experience to have for me.
And what year was that?
That would have been my sophomore year.
Fantastic, awesome. Okay, up to girls lacrosse. Olivia.
I'm actually the lacrosse goalie. So it's I remember it was a game against Georgetown, and if we won that, we qualified for playoffs. And it was in like the last 3 minutes of a game. I think they shot 5 shots on net, and I saved them. And it was like if they got one in, they would have won. But
Tremendous. Okay, take this in the spirit in which it's intended. Goalies are crazy.
it's definitely tough.
But you don't look crazy.
No.
All right, Alden.
For me, I think it would be last year, our game against Linfield. We kind of struggled coming out of the gates of the season, and we ended up going to OT with Linfield. And my teammate Colby Calla brought the ball down, scored a game winner, and that kind of really turned our season around. And from then, like, we came together as a team, and we ended up making the playoffs when a lot of people didn't think we would. So
Won the league too.
yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Eileen, tennis.
For me, I think a personal highlight was my sophomore year. It was against Linfield, which is like the best girls tennis team ever in the North Shore. But I played my first singles match ever, and I was terrified because I had never practiced for a singles match, but it actually went really well, and I ended up winning. But no, it was
Fantastic, fantastic. And Nick, tennis.
I'd have to say my final regular season game of sophomore year, it was tied 2-2, and I had to play a 2.5-hour match.
Whoa.
And I ended up winning it, and that led us to win the Cal title.
Wow, that is so cool. You get
Last
video of
match
that?
of the year. I remember that.
Is that right?
Great.
Yep. You got video of that, Nick?
Sorry.
Do you have video of that? Did somebody take any video?
Oh, I wish I did, but
I know.
just memory.
Lordy. Yeah, and no Wimbledon this year. Emma.
So I remember freshman year where it was kind of rough end of the year. We had some things going on with our team and whatever, but it was one of the last games. I can't remember who it was against. And me and my friend Maeve, another captain, got pulled up to varsity, and we had a different coaching staff and whatever. It was pretty rough end of the season, and we got put in the last inning of the game, and we were up to bat, like first in lineup. And she went before me, hit a double, because we were both so nervous. Like, we were like, oh God, we can't do this. We don't want to do this. We're freshmen, like playing on the varsity team for the first time ever, have barely any practice with them. And she hits a double, and I'm like, oh God, pressure's up. I really got to do something. I'm thinking I'm going to strike out, hit a double, get her in. And it was awesome. And it just brought the team spirit up. Everyone was so happy for us because we were freshmen, so it's like, you don't really see that a lot. It was just really fun.
Oh man, that sounds fantastic. And Will?
So my favorite personal highlight was probably my freshman year. I threw a no-hitter at the varsity level against Georgetown. That was really fun. I really enjoyed that. And probably for the team, my favorite memory was actually my sophomore year. I was out for the entire year with Tommy John surgery, so I didn't even get to play. But our team made it to the state semifinals, and it was a lot of fun to be riding with them. Even though I was just on the bench, it was a lot of fun. It was a
Were
good
you
time.
projected? Will you be pitching this year? Was that the schedule?
Yes, I actually pitched last year as well. So I just missed my
Okay.
sophomore year and I
Wow.
pitched my junior year. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, guys, we're getting pressed for times. I hate to say this, but final question, and it sounds like you guys would have been looking forward to this season more than anything. And right now, with probably not a whole lot of academics going on, everything kind of up in the air. Maybe just let me know how you guys are responding, either as classmates, teammates, or how the class of 2020 is handling this in general, or again personally, because again, everybody I know who's in education, everybody who has a kid or has had a kid, we all feel for you guys for the class of 20. So we'll start with Will.
It's very hard. I mean, right now, I'm just looking forward to the opportunity that I'll get to hang out with my teammates that I didn't get a chance to play with this year. I mean, right now, there's not too much you can do, but that's all I'm really looking forward to. I mean, all we had a few practices, a few captains practices together as a team, and I think it'll be good once we're finally released from this quarantine to be able to actually hang out with the guys. Even if it isn't playing baseball together, I think we still have a lot of fun just either going to the beach or something like that.
Excellent. Yeah. Emma?
I think that, I mean, it's a really hard time right now because obviously we're all going through it, but there's nothing we can do about it to, get our time back. So I think the most important thing is just stay positive and kind of think about the good times you did have. And like what was saying, like look forward to the opportunities you're going to get when this is all over and kind of see how this is going to like help us out in the end.
You guys are killing me, man. I wish I had you in my class. Nick?
Yeah, this is a really, really hard time for a lot of people on the tennis team. That was one of the greatest bonds I had with people at Hamilton-Wenham. But, just personally, working out on myself and, just getting better at tennis, doing anything I can around the house, serving balls at regular weird cans to see if I can hit them, anything like that, just to, get ready for college.
Eileen?
Like Emma and Will said, just staying positive right now and like optimistic that there will be like a time in the near future where I can see my teammates is really what I'm doing. But then like on top of that, I think like picking up a new hobby is a good thing to do right now, and it kind of distracts you from what you're missing out on. But
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Alden?
Really just staying in touch with the guys and like staying together. And we're talking about like hopefully doing a couple summer leagues this season if everything clears up. So we really just got to stay optimistic for that. And that's all we really have right now.
Olivia?
I agree with everyone that this is really odd timing for the seniors, especially because we'll never be able to go back. But I think just looking forward, I'm excited to be able to support the team next year and be able to come home and visit and feel like for us too that there has to be a silver lining somewhere and we'll get it back in the future some way or another.
Amen to that. Scott?
Like Olivia was saying, I'm really looking forward to when the future just coming back and seeing how the team's doing in both outdoor track and in other running sports. I think everyone right now is a bit, for seniors, no matter if they do sports or not, is a bit miffed with what happened. But yeah, we just have to keep looking through it. I mean, track's very good because if you're a runner, you can exercise and get out there on your own and work out, but it still hurts not being around all your teammates and having that community, which really helps out in running. But there's nothing you can really do right now. So you just have to keep pushing forward.
And Gemma?
I agree with a lot that's been said, but I think it's really important to stay positive and like reach out to your teammates and let them know that you're like thinking of them. And like Scott said, personally, I've been exercising a lot, which is easy to do for track on your own, but it's not the same with other teams.
And Mr. Genualdo, final word.
I think, I think the important thing here is these men and women that have just spoken so eloquently, authentically, intelligently, are speaking for all of their teammates. There's a lot of seniors, there's a lot of teammates right now that are out there. And I want to thank you all because you perfectly captured what everyone's feeling. We miss you. There's nothing we wouldn't do for you now, tomorrow, next month, next year, whenever. If you need it, we're here. You're all generals forever. You have all left an incredible legacy that are in some pretty big shoes that are going to need to be filled. Whether you had this season or not, please be rest assured that your legacy is cemented. It's solid. That of your teammates is the same thing, a solid legacy. And we cannot thank you enough for having been graced by your presence in our life. We're the lucky ones to be able to work with you and to work with your friends and your teammates. And you guys are going to kill it next year and in the future. We have no doubt.
And as I said, and I meant it, you're our saviors. I can see that. It's been verified by talking with you guys. I love the attitude. Stay with it, guys, because everything best is ahead of you. It's yet to come. This disappointment will pass eventually. And I know that the schools are going to be working to give you all of the celebrations that you so richly deserve in terms of proms, in terms of graduation and everything. But just hang in there, and thank you for inspiring me. I appreciate it. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Rick.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.